What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Gonna talk about Adrien Broner. Michael Carpenter is reporting that the PBC is looking to make Adrien Broner versus Ivan Reddick for the fall. Let's talk about it. It's gonna be an interesting matchup, man. You know, Adrien Broner, his last performance against Manny Pacquiao, he threw 6 to 8 punches in a 12-round fight. Didn't nearly throw enough punches to be competitive in that fight as Manny Pacquiao dominated the fight. He fought a very defensive fight, and that fight didn't give himself any kind of chance to really win that fight by not letting his hands go. He let Manny Pacquiao land a lot of punches to the body, and he just let Manny Pacquiao just outwork him and out hustle him for the win, man. Manny Pacquiao, you know, did what he could do fighting a fighter that was defensive minded, didn't want to take a chance of letting his hands go, because he knew if he let his hands go, he would expose himself to get knocked out or to get badly hurt. So he fought a defensive fight in Adrien Broner. So Manny Pacquiao did what he did in the Cloudy fight, you know, in his heyday, in his prime. Joshua Cloudy fought the same type of fight that Adrien Broner fight. Is basically fought a defensive fight, didn't let his hands go, and was basically there to survive. And that's what Adrien Broner did. Adrien Broner did a lot of talking, a lot of self-promotion leading up to the fight in the press conference. Got a lot of people excited. Had some people on YouTube thinking that he had a chance to win the fight. I never fell into that category. I had seen this movie too many times, and I already knew that Adrien Broner was a fighter that did not let his hands go, i.e. Jesse Vargas. You know, the fight, he didn't let his hands go. He didn't let his hands go against Mikey Garcia. Didn't let his hands go against Sean Porter. So all the big-time fights that he fought, he did not let his hands go. That's been his problem ever since he moved up in weight. When he moved up from 135 to 147, fighting guys that are naturally bigger than him, you know, his punch output has declined. So I think the Madonna fight took a lot out of him. When he got hurt multiple times in that fight, I think he's a little, what you call, weary of letting his hands go. You know, in fear of getting caught with shots and maybe getting badly hurt or getting knocked out. That's why I think he doesn't let his hands go. So that's gonna be a problem, man. Hopefully against Ivan Reddick. A lot of people might not have heard of him, but he recently was in a fight with Devin Alexander. Ended up knocking out Devin Alexander, stopping him in a very entertaining and competitive fight, man. It's a very good fight, man. His trainer is Sugar Shane Mosley, a Hall of Fame fighter that we all know and love, man. Great fighter. And Shane Mosley is trainer. So it should be an interesting matchup, man. We'll see how it plays out, man. It's going to come down to the same thing that it always comes down to when we talking about Adrien Broner, man. The guy's got to let his hands go. You know, if he lets his hands go with his skill level and his, defensive wizardry, he's got a chance to be competitive at the highest level. But if he don't let his hands go, he's going to be always one of those fighters that when they get to a certain level of fighters that they fight, you're going to come up short, man. And that's what's going to happen with Adrien Broner, man. He's got to let his hands go, man. This is a very interesting fight. They talking about stating this fight in the fall. You know, maybe, I'm just speculating, maybe they put this fight on as the co-main event to Deontay Wilder versus Luis Ortiz fight. They don't have a date for that fight. All I know is it's not going to be in September. I did a video last week saying that I've heard through my sources that they're looking to stage that fight between Deontay Wilder and Luis Ortiz for November the 2nd. That's the date that they're looking at, PBC. And maybe they put Adrien Broner and versus Ivan Reddick as a co-main event for that fight that's going to be on pay-per-view. Maybe they do that. As you know, Adrien Broner has been on multiple pay-per-views supporting big major pay-per-view fights. When he fought, after he lost to Marcos Maidana, his next fight was on a pay-per-view fight. I forgot what fight that was. I don't know if that was Mayweather, maybe a Mayweather fight. He was on that card he was on the undercard for that fight. So he's done that before. But here recently he's been headlining his own fights as he's one of the bigger names. Despite the losses that he's one of the bigger names on the PBC. He's got a big following, a huge fan base, controversial figure that draws a lot of eyeballs to TV sets when he's fighting. So maybe they go, maybe, you know, even coming off a loss of Manny Pacquiao, maybe they put him on, maybe they do their own headline. Maybe him and Ivan Reddick headline their own show sometime in the fall. But I was just speculating that maybe they might do that as a co-main event to Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, or maybe, you know, they headline their own fight between those two, Adrien Broner and Ivan Reddick. We'll see what happens, man. But I'm just giving you this, the latest boxing news, man. You know what I was thinking, man, a couple of days ago. It's like I had some kind of intuition about Adrien Broner. I was gonna do a video like, what's happening with Adrien Broner? You know, what's going on with Adrien Broner? He's been kind of quiet lately. You know, you heard some news about a month ago saying he was he's going through it again. He was thinking about, you know, he's had a couple of times where he's talking about he's thought about committing suicide, taking his own life. I think I heard something about that about a month ago. He was contemplating that, but a lot of people saying he was just looking for attention. I just pray for the guy, man. Just hope for the best, man. Hopefully that he doesn't get to that point that he wants to take his own life, man. But again, as far as his boxing goes, inside the square circle, man, the guy's got a lot of talent, man. He's got a lot of talent, man. He just got to let his hands go, man. Maybe up under the tutelage of it hasn't shown itself so far, but maybe under the tutelage of Coach Cunningham, he can get him to be more active in the ring, man. Throwing punches, throwing combinations, using his jab, going to the body, and be the Adrien Broner that we saw at 135, man. I doubt if that happens because we seen too much evidence here in the last 4 or 5 years that the guy just not, ever since I ever say when he fought, I guess he fought Marcos Maidana, I think that was 2015. So maybe the last 4 years we've seen too much evidence that the guy just refused to let his hands go, and that's part of the problem, man. But anyway, it should be an interesting fight. Ivan Reddick, trained by Sugar Shane Mosley, comes to fight. I thought I actually had him behind in the Devin Alexander fight, but it was a competitive fight. It wasn't like he was getting dominated. But I just thought Devin was slightly ahead of him, but he was able to catch Devin Alexander with a punch that he couldn't recover from, and he was able to knock out Devin Alexander, man. So that was a good win for him, and he'll be looking to get another big name on his resume with an even bigger name on his resume in Adrien Broner. So we'll see what Ivan Reddick and Sugar Shane Mosley, the game plan they come up with the problem, Adrien Broner. So again, this is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.